Hey everybody, welcome to the Backstage Pass with yours truly, Mr. Jared Lee. I have a very special guest, an Indigenous hip hop artist who goes by the name of Stun. So, who is Stun? I'm going to read you his bio here really quickly. Stun is a Canadian Indigenous hip hop artist from Oxford House, Manitoba. Raised in the city of Winnipeg, he's collected numerous amounts of experience from all sorts, from the gangster lifestyle to the preppy schoolboy. He was not a lost soul, with his culture built into his well being. Growing up around love and racism, the young man had gained knowledge from all types of influential individuals. He found the passion for music through a troubled youth and was considered the best outlet and a way for him to speak from the heart. So he did. From that troubling experience, an MC was thoroughly born. Although, with the peer pressures of criminals and acquaintances, the talent only seemed to blossom. He went on showcasing his talent around house parties and close friends with nothing but, good reactions in return. He then started chasing the dream that had been implanted into his brain, carrying a family on his back while displaying the modern Aboriginal lifestyle. Stun is nothing but passionate towards his dream. Stun made it quite known that he was a talented man and that did not, waste any time. With no one but his family behind him and his backbone, he stands with his life's realism and how it affects and influences him to become who he is. Living with nothing but quality, Stun is a good example of an exotic music artist. So I got to meet this guy at the Manitoba Music um, residency, and it was a 1 week music residency. We got to network with other artists, and this guy blew my socks away, so to speak. And I'm not much of a big hip hop fan. I'm more country rock, but the way this guy does his music is absolutely something else. So without further ado, I bring to you Stun. There you go, brother. How's it going, man?
What's up? What's up?
Yeah.
I'm doing good. Just kind of hanging out with you right now,
Oh,
and yeah, just taking it easy. Started working. Kind of getting back into shape after all the winter, the
cool. So
winter.
did you put on the COVID weight like most of us did?
Oh
Get
yeah.
an extra few pounds. So it kind of happens when you have nothing to do and just basically sit around. So let's start here. Where did we meet? I know I told everybody, but I'd like to hear it from you too. Like where did we first meet and how did we get to know each other?
Through the Manitoba Indigenous Music Residency in
Hmm.
Elkhorn Resort, and
Yep.
like that whole experience was like it was awesome, man. Like the entire environment, like meeting everybody, especially like even having you here, like the whole like I don't know, man. It was just awesome. Like it was beautiful. That's all I could say. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, sorry, but unfortunately, it was like one of the last get-togethers that was known for that entire year.
Hmm.
So, like it was like something that everybody can hold on to, right? So it was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember when we first went there, like we were surrounded by so many talented people, like in every different genre. And we had like all the big names there. Like we have David Strickland, we had Crystal Shawanda, we had Jace Martin. We had awesome mentors like Twin Flames came out and talked to us. And, just being able to share your music with other people it was really heartfelt. So let's go back to the start. How did you get your start into music? I know I read your bio, but let's go from the start. Like, how did you get involved into becoming a real MC as a dope MC?
When I was like, I can't even gauge it back, but like my uncle, kind of introduced me to Swollen members. I used to see these
Mm,
guys on TV, and I was like, I was kind of like mind blown. He's like, you should make your hair like him. And then back then, he had like a I guess a bent beak kind of cap and
yep.
curly blonde hair, and that's what he told me to make my hair like. And I was like, I kind of thought about it, whatever, but and then eventually I started falling in love with it, and
Mm,
I was introduced to breakdancing, believe it or not. I used to be a
mhm,
breakdancer back in the day because of my cousin Daniel, who was like one of the influences. And I guess from there, I kind of like started listening to more hip hop, more of the R&B stuff, and just like very old school, like NWA, Big L, Nas, just like a bunch of like 80s, 90s artists. And my buddy actually, he was like making instrumentals, and this was
mhm.
like way before I started writing. So I was like interested into what he was doing because instrumentals are dope, right? You can't go wrong with doing anything with those. So
Yep.
I just started writing to one of his instrumentals, and then from there, that's when I started to build momentum and try to do my own thing, right? So this
Hmm.
was like back when I was like 16 years old.
Yeah.
16 years old, you know, the big dream, trying to be the biggest MC on earth kind of deal. But unfortunately, you know, it didn't work out that way. But you know, I'm here now. I'm talking about my story and all that. So you know, everybody has trials and errors, but yeah, it's a beautiful journey so far, and I'm very happy to be here.
Sweet. Well, let's go with that. Like, what are some of the hard things I guess like you have to go through? Like, we'll call them obstacles, whether it's in music and life. If you just want to share a little bit of your story and how I guess music was your outlet and where it brought you today. Let's talk about that.
Obstacles, I guess you could say a lot of it lies within my self confidence. Because like
Hmm.
you know, growing up, I was bullied when I was like from different schools. I was always the new kid, and you know, a lot of like kids who were on the reserves and in the schools, they didn't really, you know, I guess they seen me as competition, if you want to say. And unfortunately, like it was like it led to a bunch of different scenarios where it just drained some of my, I guess, confidence.
Hmm.
And music was like one of those things that kind of brought me up because it allowed me to kind of voice myself out and just like, you know, put my emotions in there. And it definitely, I can say it definitely helped me with a lot of my self-confidence. But another obstacle too is, you know, financially, because I'm
Hmm.
always financially, you know, struggling for, you know, not I'm not gonna say forever, but I mean like
The
just
struggle is real. That kind of deal. Yeah, I
yeah,
feel you. Yep.
like financially, like I was just like I had to do things myself with like the instrumentals and like you know the pretty much the entire production because like it's like a block, you know, you got to get over it somehow. And that's
Hmm.
what I was trying to do. I was always trying to do things myself so I didn't have to rely on anybody. And
Yep.
that's like that was like one of the obstacles was just like, you know, not really being confident in myself to doing something, you know what I mean? Like something like that.
Yeah. I guess it's we all kind of struggle with I guess our own little insecurities. I have a few of mine. I know other artists have a few of theirs, but just being able to be confident in front of people and say, like, listen, this is my truth. This is the life that I live. This is 1 mile in my moccasin. So just being able to share that, man, you're an inspiration for younger kids that may be going through something that you went through, like talking about bullying, talking about having to go to different schools. That must have been hard, like, and being able to find an outlet, like writing music, like being able to rap along with these tracks and being able to share that. That's huge. I mean, you're an inspiration already just by living the dream, right? So what does it feel like? What does it feel like to be up on stage? I mean, when you're in front of the crowd, in front of like house party, you name it. What's that feeling like?
I like this is a hard question, man. Like,
Right.
honestly, it's
It's
like
not an easy one.
no, it's oh something fell there. But it's like it's a pretty amazing. Like it's like a very it's a big rush. It's a big rush.
Mm,
Just like even the vibe of the audience and everything, like you can totally feel that entire energy. And like as soon as you start performing, dancing, doing anything, like it's just like a recuperating energy. It just keeps on coming back and forth, and it's just like something that just keeps on spinning. You know what I mean? Like it's just like constant. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like
a flow of energy of some
yeah,
sort. Like
it's
you're giving it to the crowd, they're giving it back. I mean,
something's going on there. It's really weird, but it's like it's really cool too.
so can we hear a song? Let's hear something, at least one or two.
Yeah, yeah. I'll
Okay.
leave you one. One or two, yeah.
What song do you want to do? And I'll let you get the crowd going here, and I'll go solo, and we'll go from there.
This song is called Indigenous, and like I made this last year, maybe last year, beginning of last year, and like at the time I was making the instrumental, and I was just like wondering what I could be doing with this, and yeah, just like running through it. Eventually, the idea came to me, and I turned it into a song that could be relatable to our Indigenous people, and at the same time, about like getting over, I guess, like, like I said, self confidence when I was talking with him earlier, and just like basically trying to upbring our young Indigenous youth, because I feel like some of them are lost. They don't really know who they are or where they're coming from, and I think this song definitely plays that part. So let's get right into it and start it up. Indigenous is all I know. It's in my blood, baby. You're not alone. These battle scars is all exposed. Let me get it like my land, cause we call this home. I ain't taking no backhands, traumatized by the flashbacks. Reconcile my culture, kick some ass like Van Damme. I'll admit that I'm that bad, just put that garbage in trash cans. In the world, I'm a gladiator, I'm aggravated like Bam Bam. Woo! Who is the greatest? Who are the natives? Yeah, you are the bravest. Do me a favor, just give me the language I lost when I was a baby, calling me lazy. Whatever I did to you people, I'm sorry you hate me, warrior gangster. Whenever I'm loving my woman, I love that you made me. My indigenous people, come and dream with me. My indigenous people, come and walk with me. My indigenous people, come and be with me. Taking the steps, coming alive, cause you need to breathe. My indigenous people, my indigenous, soaring high like an eagle, my indigenous, know that I will believe you, my indigenous people. Young Nate, all over my skin like sunscreen. Universe, it loves me. Don't drink the water cause it's unclean. It's unbelievable underneath our stolen land and they call us thieves. Y'all the reason I'm on the streets with holes in the wall. Loving police, I'm loving the anger. Running from danger like some blood on a razor, moccasin maker. I'm always so braided, I love it, it's all on my nature. Call me the native, the missing and murdered indigenous. Why do you hate us? Why were you gangster? Whenever I'm loving my woman, I love that you made us. My indigenous people, come and dream with me. My indigenous people, come and walk with me. My indigenous people, come and be with me. Taking the steps, coming alive, cause you need to breathe. My indigenous people, my indigenous, soaring high like an eagle, my indigenous, know that I will believe you, my indigenous people. I'm okay, I'm riding, this is us. I got love for my people and the call indigenous. Stay away. I'm okay, I ain't trying to get this up. I've been fighting for my family to call indigenous. Stay away. My indigenous people, come and be with me. My indigenous people, come and walk with me. My indigenous people, come and dream with me. Taking the steps, coming alive, cause you need to breathe. My indigenous people, my indigenous, soaring high like an eagle, my indigenous, know that I will believe you, my indigenous people, indigenous, is all I know, it's in my blood, baby, you're not alone, battle scars, it's all exposed. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
That's the roar of the crowd, man. If the crowd was here, we got people that are tuned in from all over. There's 9 viewers on right now. We got a whole bunch of likes and hearts and some comments, and that was Straight Fire, Indigenous by Stun. So where do you come up with this? Like, I like the fact you talk about, being able to walk with one another, inspire one another. The missing and murdered, you touched on that in that song. Where does that songwriting come from? Where does it all stem from?
I mean, like, it just depends on what's happening. And at that time, I don't think anything was really happening at that time, but it's just like
Hmm.
something that's always around. Like you always end up seeing it around, and
Yep.
through even through social media, right? Like it just like it it comes back to me when I'm writing. Whenever I'm working on a song, I always have to put in like something to do with missing and murdered or culture, identity, and just
Hmm.
reconciliation, and just like gaining your language back. Whether like I've been saying in the song, you can hear like pretty much everything in there is where we come from as people, as our indigenous people. And it's not like that necessarily for all indigenous people, but it is like that for most. Like it's just a whole lot of love, because when I was growing up, I was into traditional lifestyle. My
Hmm.
grandfather, he ran a sweat lodge. He ran like ceremonies. He was a spiritual healer. He went all over the place, just like touching base and healing all these people. And I thought that was really amazing of him to be able to do that. And he did that with his entire family. And even to just, be a part of that, just putting all that into the music as well. So like I feel like I need to say something for people to hear. And sometimes you don't even hear any of the stuff that you just heard, right? So like yeah, I just feel like it's my mission to gain more put more confidence into our indigenous youth.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the world's already trying to break us down enough as it is, and we're already targeted, like what you said about in your song there. And it is true. People still need to get educated. Even the true history of Canada still needs to get told, and our stories need to get told, right?
Yeah.
So I appreciate you for taking that courageous step and being able to share it with your love of music. So let's go to this part now. Like this is my favorite part, the triumphs. Let's talk about all the good stuff that's happened. I mean, even just being able to go to that Elkhorn resort and being able to network with so many awesome, amazing artists. What are some of the triumphs that you can talk about or brag about or boast about in your career?
I mean, just like any artist, you start off somewhere, right? You start off with just basically nothing, nothing to work with. And
Hmm.
you kind of just make a name for yourself, and it's just like it just branches out the more you start putting yourself out there. And
Hmm.
that's exactly what I was trying to do and what everybody was trying to do. And it's like it took so long to get to a certain point.
Yep.
And I dropped my first album in 2017, and that was like a big eye opener because I had no idea of anything about the industry like I thought I did back then. And I
Hmm.
was just like, I just wanted to make music. I just wanted to release it to the world and have everybody listen to it, right? And then I thought that was gonna be the thing that was gonna like kind of make it go in a direction that I was always thinking about. But
Yep.
it didn't necessarily happen that way. So I just kept on applying everything that I can think of. And then eventually I started doing stuff with Manitoba Music.
Hmm.
I started taking upon their workshops they had, and they inspired me to kind of go into the direction that I wanted to go.
Yep.
I eventually got here and there, and my song "Hold the Pride," which is on that first album, actually went onto the Indigenous Music Countdown. It
Nice.
it reached number 6. It peaked at number 6, but then after that, it went down. But I mean,
Hmm.
like, that was, like, one of my biggest things that back then. That was, like, 2018, I think. I might have
Hmm.
yeah. And then, yeah, as time went on, I started to, um, participate in a bunch of these things that Manitoba Music was taking part of.
Hmm.
And then they had showcases and everything, and I just took part in every single opportunity that came my way, and each and every opportunity was always different. It was always like either you fly out to a community to perform for, indigenous youth in like Brochet or something, or going to Calgary, which I'm happy that I got to do because of music. And
Hmm.
um yeah, it was a long journey, like a very long journey to get to the place where I'm at right now. And yeah, it's like some of the things that happened last year was I performed at the Festival de Voyageur, which is a very big event here in Manitoba. And like
Yep.
that was like one of my dream to come true, because that was like one thing I've always wanted to do was perform there. And I managed to get on, luckily, hopefully. um, and yeah, later that year, I mean, that whole 2020 year like sucked. Everything in that whole year was like,
Everybody's plans just basically like
yeah.
just fell apart.
So near the end of the year, there was like I shot a music video, and then I released it. on October 16, I think it was last year in 2020, and then I submitted it for this thing in Winnipeg here. They have it's called Winnipeg Aboriginal Film Festival, and
Yeah.
they're starting a new thing called Indigenous Screen Awards. So I submitted into that, and then on New Year's Eve they announced everything, whatever. And yeah, I managed to get best new talent for that video for directing that video. That was like something I was like, it made me cry. Obviously, I got
Yeah.
emotional because it's one of those things, right? It's like I don't know. It's really amazing. It's awesome.
You put your hard work into it, and then finally you be able to get recognized. And I think that's why we do what we do. Is just sometimes a little pat on the back goes a long way for all your hard work and all your efforts. I was just looking over your YouTube channel here, and I found that you were voted for Breakthrough Artist of the Year. That's huge. What was that? Was that through Manitoba as well?
No, that was with Indigenous Music Awards or the Indigenous
Oh,
International Indigenous Hip Hop Awards, I should say. They,
that's
there was something that they were trying to do through 2020, right? But then it scratched the plan. Now they put it onto this year, and then yeah, I got nominated, and I was pretty hyped up about it. I was like, wow, like this is some next level thing.
sweet. I got a video here that I just wanted to share with everybody. You don't mind if I share like what life's like in the I guess all in a day with Stun vlog. There's that video I just kind of wanted to share with people. You don't mind
Yeah, go
if I
ahead.
share that? Okay, sweet. Well, I'm just gonna see if I can figure out how to share my screen here and application windows. There it is. And then yeah, we'll check out this video. What life's like in the day of Stun. You were talking about going to Calgary, and I think in the video you're like, oh, there's snow in Calgary. So yeah, here we go. All in a day.
Yeah, I was like really tired there. I remember where that whole opportunity was like, I got up super early because I was really excited, and then I drove all the way to the airport, and I was just like, I don't even want to film anything right now. I'm just yeah, but I mean, like the whole experience was cool. Yeah, it was like for the Indigenous music festival they had over there, and the Calgary Public Library um, contacted me and asked me if I wanted to perform, and I was like, yeah, sure, why not? And then yeah, pretty much that's the journey. I did it all in one day, which is
Nice.
pretty nuts.
This was like before masks, right?
Yeah, wait, this is in 2019.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It was the same year I dropped Braided Up,
Nice.
and yeah, because like I'm thankful for that album because it just opened up a bunch of doors for me, and yeah,
Cool.
it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool what music can actually do for you once you like really put your mind, soul, and spirit into it, right? Yeah, these performances are pretty awesome to see.
Nice.
It's a whole different experience when you're there, right? Like
Yep.
seeing it on screen, but like being there and actually like being a part of everything, like it's a whole different feeling. I really miss it. Like this sucks.
Where's Stun?
He's
Is
coming
it
up.
coming?
Yeah, after this one, I think.
Okay. There he is.
Yeah, I was like really skinny there. Now I'm just like I feel so unhealthy right now because of the weight. It's funny.
Swiss chalet. All right, chicken.
Yeah,
That's my favorite.
I think that was my second time eating Swiss chalet in my life.
Nice.
It was when I
They have
moved.
good rotisserie, man. All in a day.
Yeah, pretty much all in a day. They wanted me to stay there for an extra day, but I had work the next day, so I didn't really want to jeopardize my job.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to. It's you got to take those calculated risks when you're in this industry and in the business, and it's tough to kind of be able to juggle what you want to do for for a career and also what you love. So if you love music, how do you juggle family and friends? And that is a good question. How do you juggle all that? Like, how big of a family do you have, Stan?
Um, my wife and my children. I'm
Yep.
not gonna go into details, but
Yep.
we do have a big family and are
Great.
expecting another one on the way.
Well, congratulations, bro. That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's huge.
with like music and family and stuff, and like
Yeah.
it's been like I had to be like so super patient. It's like a lot of patience is involved because
Hmm.
stuff that I have to take care of first before I can start taking care of what I
Yeah.
really want to do, right? So um like the juggle, like I'll put it in a day. I'll go to work, I'll come home from work, which is could be range from like 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock, and I'll spend an hour or so with my kids and my wife, and we'll put them to bed and whatnot, get all that going. And it's either usually I'll spend time with my wife for the remainder of the night, or I'll work
Hmm.
on some music. And usually she's a beater. Like if you can see all of her stuff here, like she likes to work on crafts and just like make, like she's working on my traditional outfit right now. Like
Nice.
either she does that, or we'll watch a movie together.
Yeah.
But if she's doing her hobbies, then I'm kind of doing my hobbies, and then it's bedtime. Like pretty
Yeah.
much that's pretty much how it is every day.
The routine.
Yeah, like honestly, a routine is probably the best thing too, right? So
Yep.
just keeps things leveled and keeps things feeling normal for the most
Yep.
part.
Yep. So, what do you dance when you dance traditional? What's
Uh,
your category?
I'm a grass dancer.
Grass dancer. The first one's out to clear the grass and mat it down for everybody. Yeah, that's how the grass dance got started, right?
Yeah, there's
Okay.
a really like old story about behind it.
Hmm.
It's like when they would be migrating all over the country, they
Hmm.
would get the grass dancers to actually flatten the lands so then they can set up their wigwams or teepees or whatever, and then
Hmm.
the grass dancers would actually keep dancing until they're done. All of them are done setting up, and it's like I'm thinking about it now. Like I don't think I would have the stamina to do.
That's a lot of dancing, and you
Yeah,
gotta have people that could set up teepees. But back in the day, think about this though: is our people were good. Like they knew how to set up and how to move camp and how to be nomadic and follow the buffalo around, and that's how we lived our lifestyle. So if we can set up camp in an hour, that'd be pretty good. Mine, back in the day, all of us were probably in great shape if you
yeah,
really think about it, eh?
yeah. Like I didn't think about that, but
Yeah.
you got something there. And I'm pretty sure that everybody was in shape.
Yeah, like everybody had to pull their own weight, and there was hunters, there was gatherers, and putting up camp, and like that's just another thing in your day aside from, man, if you could list all the cultural activities we had, like even our recreation was stuff like hard to do. Imagine playing lacrosse after hunting a buffalo and then skinning it and then all in a day's work. So for you to like go all the way to Calgary, perform all the way there, and then come all the way back to Winnipeg, that's pretty well how our people were anyway. So we were nomadic and we put in an honest day's work. And man, that's my hat's off to our people for being so resilient. So let's do this. Let's get another song going. We're about half hour into our show, and name the song you're gonna do next, and then I'll let you get the solo going up here.
All right. This next song I'm gonna do for everybody is called "Play It Right." And when I was making this song, I was actually in. There was a thing that they had going on in Portage la Prairie. It was part of Manitoba Music, and throughout that time, I was kind of going through like struggling with difficulties and just trying to manage my anxiety, and at the same time, with the family balances, balancing my family life, balancing my friendships, and just basically laying out everything so I don't like lift up the wrong card pretty much. But yeah, when I was writing this song, this is what was going through my brain at the time. It's called Play Right, and this is the one I did a music video for last year. The gamble is real, my life's on the line. Like, how should I deal? I gotta play it right. I know I will feel like walking all night. But how should I deal? I gotta play it right. Play it right. Play it right. Play it right, I gotta play it right. Dream chaser, she is so anxious. Risk taker, talk about dangerous. I could touch the sky like those spaceships. Expose the truth like blood on a pavement. Wasted from the day before. Thank the Lord, it's hard when it rains, it pours the rain. Nothing wrong with the thing you saw, cause they say the truth hurts like a canker sore. And I'm still doubtful like chief and counsel. Running till you choke, watch me give you a mouthful. About ya, the Indian outlaw. Make it right, but I'm telling you it sounds wrong. Found our support in my circle. Her full of time, we grind till I'm purple. All commercial, I'm calling it fakeness. This ain't a game no more, so don't play it. Yeah, the gamble is real. My life's on the line. Like, how should I deal? I gotta play it right. I know I'll feel like walking on ice. But how should I deal? I gotta play it right. Play it right. Play it right. Play it right. I gotta. Hey, as long as you're feeling right, cause these dollars make sense when you realize. Got an arms for the pain, you ain't feeling right. Let me run it through your veins, let me do my thing. You know it's all in the bloodline. Trying to touch the sky like the sunrise. Nowadays everybody's feeling tongue-tied. Got love lighting up the dark like the sunshine. Rain, no one try to make this awesome. I'ma call this a flower cause I make it blossom. The rain, nothing wrong with the rain, no problems. I crawled out the water like the Loch Ness monster. Like damn, fall hard but I don't bruise. No rules, cold world like snowshoes. Everything I go through is old school. Never mind painting pictures, I'll show you. Yeah, the gamble is real. My life's on the line. Like, how should I deal? I gotta play it right. I know I will feel like walking on ice. But how should I deal? I gotta play it right. Play it right. Play it right. Play it right. I gotta play it right. This life ain't nothing like a game. I've been living, I won't change. I ain't playing with mine. Play the cards or play it right. This life ain't nothing like a game. I've been living, I won't change. I ain't playing with mine. Play the cards or play it right. The gamble is real. My life's on the line. Like, how should I deal? I gotta play it right. I know I will feel like walking on ice. But how should I deal? I gotta play it right. Play it right. Play it right. Play it right. I gotta play it right. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Uh,
That song, that song speaks to me because we're in the same boat. Like when I think about music and the career choice that I made is like I have to play my cards right. I got to do it right, and this is my life, like how it's your life, and there's a lot on the line. Like people will just say, "Oh, this is just a hobby," or get a real job, and it's okay to be secure in life and to make the right choices. But at the end of the day, if I was to do music full time, we'd have to play it right, play all the cards right. So some of these comments were like, "Deadly, boy, you're deadly," and
uh,
because you're deadly, you make me want to be deadly. Chris Paul, fire.
oh, Chris Paul.
Yeah, we got a singer songwriter friend of mine, Raven Reed. Um, I think that's exploding. Yeah, and then my mom always watches my show, so she's always like, awesome. She supports everybody's music, and yeah, there's a lot of people from all over watching right now, and there will be a lot more people watching in the future. Just right now, we only have, like I said, about nine people watching, but for the most part, that's awesome. I love the fact that you can speak your truth, and that song is like kind of like what I'm going through. It's like, man, that's you got to play your cards right, you know. So
Yeah.
is that one's released already? Where can we find that one?
You can find it everywhere. It's available online and all streaming platforms, even on YouTube. The videos on YouTube. Yeah, it's just you can look up my album too, Braided Up. You can look it up
Okay,
everywhere. Look up Stun, Braided Up. Yeah, I'm on Spotify, Apple Music. You can check out my website too, therealstun.com.
okay, therealstun.com.
Yeah, and yeah, like, everywhere, man. It's everywhere. It's all over the place.
Therealstun.com. Is that right?
Yep.
Cool. So there you go. Like, got a lot of people watching from all over. Hi, Charmaine, girl went to school with. She can read your cards for you if you're into that kind of stuff. So where are we at in the show here? Culture. Let's talk about culture. How important is it for us to remain strong in our culture when we're walking this earth?
Um, it's. I think that is very important, just because like I have children, and my children need to know who they are and where they're coming from,
Hmm.
and that's something that my grandfather taught me, and just like he passed down the teachings to me, and I'm passing down my teachings to my children, but like it's very important when it comes to like your language, because most of the time we tend to forget our language, and like even sometimes I'm forgetful of it, and like I'm teaching some little words here and there, and just like trying to get them to understand how important it is, right? Like
Yep.
teaching, like even with children are just like sponges, right? They absorb absolutely everything that's around them, good and bad, unfortunately. And yeah, cultures like very, like with music, I feel like it needs to be more like it needs
Hmm.
to be more out there, and people need to be more aware of it. Because with hip hop, right, like there's a lot of right now. I don't know about right now, but most for the most part, it's always about glorifying a certain lifestyle. But I mean, people do live that lifestyle, right? They. It's not saying it's like it's bad altogether, but I'm just saying that there's better ways to go around it. Like what how Tupac spoke about it. Um,
Yeah.
Even Big L or Nas, like those guys are my top tier artists I like to look at. Even
Hmm.
Hellenbach, man, Hellenbach, Jesus, like Snotty Nose Rez Kids, just like it's just they're talking about a lifestyle and just how they lived it and how they came through it, and like it's a whole lot involved with your just views of life, right? So that's
Yeah.
very
Uncle Helly. I look up to Uncle Helly because he was like one of the founding fathers, I guess, of Canadian hip hop, and one of the people that blazed the trail for younger artists like yourself, and you know emerging ones that are coming up. And the big question is always Tupac or Biggie.
important. Um,
Which one?
That's pretty hard, man. Like, cause I
They're both good.
love both of them. They're both
They're both.
lyrically talented, and just like they both can tell like powerful stories. I'm not even I don't even know what to say about that because they're different lifestyles, right? Like
Yeah.
separate sides of the country,
Yep.
and like you can't meet in the middle with that unless I mean like with hip hop, yeah. But I would go with Tupac. Tupac is like he's got something in there in his music.
My friend Charmaine, she's big into hip hop too. Nas is a lyricist, storyteller. So if you want to talk about anything with hip hop, she'd be the person to connect with. She definitely knows her history there on music. And like I said, I'm not. I don't follow it avidly as much as I should have, but I mean, I listened to it growing up, and believe it or not, my very first concert was Swollen Members in Cold Lake. I think I was like 14. I was about 14 or 15, and me and my buddy Albert, we went up to Cold Lake for the day, and this is when their album dropped, and they had a whole bunch of fans all over Canada, and they were supported on Much Music, and they did their little cross Canadian tour. So yeah, that was my first concert with Swell Members. And I remember the guy you were talking about with the hair, and had the flow of the blonde hair coming out the side. That was the look.
Yeah,
That was the look.
oh, I might have been like 8 years old at that time, but I
Okay.
like everything was different back then, right? And now it's like it's a whole different ball game. It's like anything is really there now. Seems
Yeah.
like.
What was it like when you met David Strickland? Like, did you get to record a little bit when you're at Elkhorn with him?
Yeah, like just hearing his story and like not what's his name? Helen back introduced me to him. He's like, "Hey man, you need to talk to this guy.
Hmm.
You guys, I think you guys would click." So like he gathered like pretty much everybody. Like there was I don't know if there was 16 or 14 artists,
Yep.
but he pretty much gathered everybody and just got everybody to do something, record something. It doesn't matter if it's a guitar riff or, like a 15-second vocal or something like that. But like
Hmm.
working with him, he was like go, go, go. He was always like wanting to, he kind of like inspired you to do something with your talent. And
Hmm.
yeah, he gathered me, he gathered Big Mo, who goes by Caleb Moses now. And
Yep.
he gathered Wolf Castle as well, Hellenbach. They're all just sitting in the room, in his room. He bought two speakers, he bought his laptop, he bought stuff to record with. I brought the mic. Hellenbach
Hmm.
told me to bring the mic, but I never bought the pop filter. So we were like scrambling around all over the place trying to find something to represent the pop filter.
Yep.
Yeah, so like we were like recording with that black microphone. I got like everybody to sign it. So um yeah, I mean, it was awesome. It was cool. He's a pretty chill guy. I gotta say, like for the most part, everything was like right on.
And humble, like even be able to work with some of the biggest names in hip hop. Like he was dropping some pretty freaking big names, and just to be able to be humble and realize like if he can make it there, then so can we.
Yeah,
That's the way I looked at it. It was like Drake, Redman, Method Man, like all the big names.
like that's. I was like kind of blown away when he dropped those names because, like, to be honest, I did not know who he was before I came there, and
Yep.
then what when he was talking about his story, telling everybody about what he does and how he came about it, I was like, wow, like how come I never heard of this guy? And it's because he's the guy behind the scenes doing all this
Yep.
for all these artists, and I'm like, man, like it's like it's cool. It's cool to know somebody that's indigenous that could, touch those networks. And it's like even Buffy Saint Marie and
Yep.
who else is out there? I can't really think right now, but I'm just like going off the spot. Like it's just crazy, man. It's crazy what like how much passion you have and how much of a drive you have can make a big difference.
Hmm. So I got a question from one of the viewers here, Charmaine. She wants to know what is Stun right about?
I kind of like I don't pick topics necessarily when I'm writing. I always just go off vibe. So if I'm creating an instrumental, I'm going off of what the vibe is from the instrumental. And if
Mhm.
it could be like, something with anxiety. Like I struggle with anxiety. I got into a car accident last year,
Mhm.
unfortunately, with my wife and children. And thank the creator for watching us over us because nothing serious happened. But that like struck anxiety really hard. And I write about anxiety. That's one of the things I'll write about. And just like emotional stuff, a lot of stuff that I deal with on a day basis. Like it could be something related to like self confidence. It could be something related to my family matters. I don't like put it. I don't put it point blank. I kind
Yep.
of like disguise it. You know what I mean? I disguise it a little bit, and I don't put everything out there. I put stuff of references to certain things that happen in my life, and
Mhm.
like even with culture, I'll put my culture into there too. And like I haven't been depressed lately, but like I've even depression too. I'll talk about that because
Yep.
growing up, we all experience different stories. We're all different people, and just like I'm just expressing where I come from, right? Where some of my depression kind of stems from, and just like a lot of upbringing. To be proud of who you are, and
Mhm.
a lot of like I'll write about love too, right? Like I'll write about my wife. I'll reference a lot of things to her too, and just like I haven't really referenced anything to my children yet. Just like
Mhm.
some stuff, but stuff like that. Definitely
So
mental health too.
yeah, that's good. Mental health is a big one right now. I know a lot of people they're kind of suffering. Well, I want to say suffering, but I mean like people are going through mental health issues because we're being disconnected from each other right now, especially being able to be around our family and gather. That kind of stuff has been disconnected, and Indigenous people were so connected to our families. Like this is messing with a lot of people's minds right now, not to be around one another, especially at a time when we rely so heavily on our culture and on medicines. And when I see people panic, the coolest thing that ever happened was when we first got the news of this pandemic getting to Canada. There was me, Forrest Eagle speaker, Marenton Fair, and Morning Coop. We were all sitting in the airport, okay, four Indigenous kids. And when somebody said like, "Oh, the pandemic is here, the virus is here," the airport panicked, right? People were running. They were running to their airport and they were running away from where this lady was getting carried off in a stretcher. But you know what was cool? Us native kids were just sitting there, cool, just chilling, looking at each other and watching these people panic, right? All different backgrounds. We're like, "Oh, is this your first time? Aw, how cute." And we're just chill because we know like we don't buy into the fear of if something bad happens or people get sick, it's not in our hands, it's up to the creator and stuff. We can do everything possible, like
Yeah,
washing our hands and being healthy, but at the end of the day we have nothing to fear because we're strong in our culture, we're strong in our medicines, and I truly believe we're um what's the word I'm looking for? We're just strong people. We're resilient in nature. So with that, we'll end it off here with a heart to heart. I want to thank you for coming on to the show and sharing your talents with us and your stories. I want to thank you for coming up and introducing yourself to me at Alcorn, the resort, and shaking hands. And who knew that was going to be the last time we would ever gather together in just a powerful group of artists, Indigenous artists that are we have voices. We can change the world. It's up to us what we want to do with our futures and how we inspire others. So I just want to thank you for even sharing your story about the stigmatas about mental health. Like we shouldn't talk about it. We shouldn't talk. Yeah, we should talk about it because we are able to go through stuff and we can relate to one another. And that's the reason why I created the show, is to shed light on artists. We're not just up there for people to look up to, but we're right on the same level. We're just everyday people doing what we love, and in fact, we probably have bigger hearts than most by what we do, and it's hard the lifestyle that we have and the music that we get to share. But Charmaine, right on, she's awesome. been one of my best friends since probably kindergarten right up to grade 12 when we graduated together. But yeah, there you go, man. Thanks for being on the show. I really appreciate it. And you've got good strong following, good people in my corner that are gonna help you with your career. And if you ever need help or anything, just reach out. And if you ever want to chat, I'm here. So thanks for being on the show, brother. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for the opportunity. I've been pretty busy with work and stuff, and like leading up to this moment, it's just been like so rewarding. Like I don't get to talk about this every day, and if my wife gets sick of it, and she's like, she just gives me a look and then goes back to what she's doing, right? So,
She gives you one of these, right? Like, oh, not, oh,
but I mean, like at the same time, man, like it's
yep,
it's it's good. It's all in good company. Um,
yep.
yeah, like thank you for the opportunity. Like I said once again, like I think what you're doing here is pretty awesome. Like Backstage Pass, man, you gotta give yourself a pat on the back because like putting on something like this, every now and then, like it's a lot of work and a lot of planning and a lot of you gotta keep pushing, right? You gotta keep doing something with yourself, otherwise you're just gonna feel left and depressed and just like honestly it's perfectly healthy to go through everything and like this is awesome, man. This is like healing
Mhm.
for me, like honestly, like this kind of thing is healing, man. It's good. It's good
And
stuff.
also sharing your story with people that may be going through something similar, like having to have a career in music and being able to juggle. We're all human at the end of the day, and we all feel and we all have these emotions. So I just want to say I'm very proud of you for your award you're up for, and I'm rooting for you. And if you guys get a chance, throw it up on my page, and I'll get some of my folks to vote for you. And if voting hasn't ended yet, and good luck with your future. And I'm just gonna end it right there. I'm gonna share a video, and then that'll be the end of our show. So thanks, brother. Really appreciate it. Keep doing what you're doing, and keep writing all that good stuff, man.
Thank you.
All right, man. So there you go, folks. Stun, awesome artist, really humble, and great lyricist, great storyteller. And when I met him, I was blown away, like I said. So I just want to share this video with you guys. And this song right here, it's play it right. So you got to play your cards right in life. And it's just one of those songs I go to tell the story of if you do things right, you can go far in life. So here we go. Play it right by Stun.